In the beginning, the story was written. Truth pulled from lies, set in paper and stone. Each tale measured, known, complete. But some stories are not so defined. Some stories yet labor under the greasy hands of fate. In those instances, the story must be left to a roll of the dice. In those instances, the story must be rolled.
The
The
story must
story
be
must be
rolled.
rolled.
Must be rolled.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. My name is Cantor Michael, and I will be the game master for this evening. I'm going to throw it over to you love him, you know him, your story clergy. Let's start off with Pastor Andrew.
Hello, Pastor Andrew here. I'm happy to be here. Longtime listener, first time caller here for the premiere of The Story Must Be Rolled with my main man, Brother Reid over here. We've got Sister Callista, and through contractual obligation, Devin is here as well. So I'm just stoked to have everyone here on board. What's
Brother
up,
Reid,
Sister
any
Callista?
words for the congregation?
Brother Reid here at Big BR. Everyone loves me, and you're gonna love who I'm gonna bring to the table today. I've made a character so true that no scribes could write the words of this character before they existed, and no poet could dream of a heaven where this character could even belong. I'm gonna be so goddamn annoying. You're gonna want to bite your own ears off, you idiot.
Amazing. Sister Callista, greet your congregation.
Hey, congregation, so good to see you. It's Sister Callista here. Finally, I think I've just been kind of going through it a little bit. And I'm just hoping that this, with each roll of the dice, it can roll me further into feeling a little bit better about myself, about the world. Just grateful to be here, though. Glad the story is still coursing through me. Here we go.
Amazing. And Devin, I suppose you can talk.
Hey, everyone. I'm excited to be here. They forced me to be here. They gave me a computer, though, so I'm very excited about
And
that.
that's enough from Devin. Hey, everybody. I hope that we are all excited this evening because we've got a very special treat for you. This has been a long time in the making. A lot of work has gone into this. And sit back, relax, and enjoy. Tonight, we are going to be playing a game using the Kids on Bikes rule system. I know that D&D is part of the popular zeitgeist currently, but we picked something a little more rules light and story rich for you this evening. A basic lowdown on the rules that we will be using here. All characters have 6 stats. That would be the fight, flight, brains, brawn, charm, and grit stats, each one represented by a different sized die, ranging from D4 to D20, unless, of course, you are Devin, who gets 2 D4s, 2 D6s, oh, pardon me, 3 D4s, 2 D6s, and a D20. Throughout the course of the game, the players will describe what actions they are taking, and they will roll the appropriate stat. If they fail, they get an adversity token, which they use to add an extra bonus to a roll they make later on. And if they succeed, well, depending on how high they roll, they could get a better result or a worse result. One final piece of the rules. There are 2 different types of rolls you make, either a planned action, in which you can decide to simply take half of the die value and continue on your way. So for instance, if you are rolling your D10 stat, you can just decide to take 5 and go with that. And that's good for moments when you have time to plan, when you have all the time in the world, no stress, or snap decisions in which you must roll and things are going to get chaotic. Excellent. So does anyone have any questions, concerns, or announcements before we begin? Now is the time to plug anything, friends.
I'm gonna raise my hand. Could you please call on me?
Brother Reid, let's hear from you.
I don't have any questions.
I love the energy, though. All right, if we are all set to go, I think we can dive in to the story must be rolled.
The story must be rolled. Just me that
Ooh.
time.
Loving the energy, Reid.
That's Brother Reid.
Okay. So we begin in the small town of Thundering Hills, Ohio. Thundering Hills is tucked away in the rural backlogs of the closest place on planet Earth to hell, the American state of Ohio, and is your picturesque version of a sleepy middle American town. Or at least it will be for a little while longer. We sweep over to look at a squat, wide building laying at the very edge of the town's humble streets, like a great frog slowly baking to death in the sun. And this beige amphibian teetering on the edge is the Hills High School, the center for learning and childhood trauma here in Thundering Hills. We're currently outside of the front of the high school, right next to the Thundering Hills Angel, a statue built specifically for the founding of Hills High, which depicts a woman standing with a sword in hand and very shoddily done stained glass wings behind her. In front of this statue stands a large group of teenagers, and amongst them, their teacher, Miss Priscilla Cox. Now, Priscilla Cox's social studies class are currently gathered outside of the classroom because they have a field trip today. And they would normally be in a bus, but earlier this morning, the custodial staff found the Hills High bus driver unconscious in the bus after attempting to hotbox clove cigarettes for the preceding evening. Now, Miss Priscilla Cox is currently holding a clipboard and attempting to peer over the heads of her students. She is 4'11" tall. She's currently dressed in a black denim jacket and slacks, and she has the left side of her head shaved and the rest of her hair flopped over to the side. She's a very modern woman. She has the presence of someone 3 times her height. And she's currently taking roll call, which we'll use as our framing mechanism to introduce our lovely players this evening. So she looks down her list. All right, let's see. Mr. Rubcorn, are we present? Hello?
Oh, yes. Hello. My name is Rubcorn, but I'm not used to hearing my last name. I prefer to go by my first appellation, Tuggy.
And Brother Reid, what does Tuggy Rubcorn look like?
Tuggy Rubcorn is a tall boy, stretched thin as a corn stalk after 4th of July. Knee high by 4th of July. Well, he's more than knee high. He's a whole 5'6", very tall by my eyes. He is a slender soybean stalk of a boy, and he's got loose grit and gravel up in his dungarees, and you couldn't wash him down if you had a hose and a bucket of Dawn, baby.
Excellent. Further going down the list, Miss Cox calls out, Mr. Boyman? Mr. Boyman, are you with us?
Hey, Mr. Boyman.
Oh, no, he's here today. Okay.
Yeah, that's tough to you, ma'am. I'm just
Pastor,
joking. Forget about it. How you doing?
Pastor Andrew, if you could
How
please
you
describe.
doing?
If you could please
I see a
describe.
question. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, Mr. Boyman. Pastor Andrew, if you could please describe what the erstwhile tough Boyman looks like.
Tough Boyman, well, he's not that tall. He's always wearing those blue jeans with a white shirt tucked right into it with a big old belt buckle. And on top of that, too, he's got that leather jacket and he's got a collar that's flipped up all the time, depending on his mood. The guy's like a mood rock. Flip it up, he's tough. Flip it down, he's a little bit scared. Tough's coming in from that big city of Toledo, Ohio, where the skyscrapers are so big they make the clouds bleed. I tell you what, he's got that grease back hair that if you run your fingers through it, it goes faster than lightning.
I mean, I'm speechless. Just amazing. Miss Cox continues down her list. Miss Corbett.
It's Corbett.
Corbett?
It's Corbett.
Right, Corbett.
Corbett.
And Sister Callista, if you could describe what Tabitha Corbett looks like.
So Tabitha Corbett, just trying to kind of fade into the background here, but I've just got some big baggy dark denim jeans. They're probably splattered with like paint. No one's gonna ask me about my art though, it's fine. But big baggy jeans. I found this cool t-shirt. It's like a band t-shirt, but I don't know, it's just whatever I found on the floor. And I'm wearing, a black denim jacket over it too. Just don't, you don't have to look at me. It's fine. No one looks at me. So you don't need to. It's fine.
Very under the radar. I like it.
Yeah.
And as she reaches the very end of her list, Miss Priscilla Cox heaves a little bit of a sigh and says, Devin.
Did you say my name?
Yeah, yes, I did, Devin.
Was that Devin?
Yeah,
Devin.
Okay, you're here. You're here, Devin. That's
I'm
fine.
here.
Devin, if you could please describe what Devin looks like.
Devin is he's a solid 5'10". He is balding despite being a child. And he's only wearing a brand called Duckhead, head to toe. That's all he wears, Duckhead. So there's little duck heads on his shorts, on his shirt. Sometimes if he wears a hat or a belt, there's also little duck heads. It's a mallard, but I mean, he doesn't really get into it. He stinks, and he stands about 6 feet away from the rest of the group. This has nothing to do with the COVID protocol. It's just 6 feet feels nice.
Absolutely repugnant. I love it. As Mrs. Cox reaches the end of her list, she double taps her clipboard and says, okay, looks like the only people that are missing today are Preston, Brandy, Zach, and Michael. Huh, that's weird. He's not usually gone. Anyway.
We ain't got a full house. I got room to stretch my legs.
You see Mrs. Cox like physically ages like 4 months listening to you speak out loud. Okay. All right. I'm going to organize everyone into groups of 4 so that we can all stay together. We're using the buddy system as we walk down to the Historical Preservation Society. Here, let me get my list here. Okay. And she starts to call out groups of 4 in the class. And she gets to the very end, and none of the 4 of you have been called just yet. And then you hear tumbling in a row. All right, Tough, Tuggy, Tabitha, and Devin. You 4 are a group. She makes eye contact with you, Tabitha, as she says that, and just mouths, "I'm sorry."
Whatever.
All right, so the 4 of you are placed into a group, and the entire class is shepherded down the road to the Historical Preservation Society. You are currently walking down Temple Road, which is one of the dirt roads here in town, and you leave the grounds of the high school. As you walk, you pass by the small church here in town, You can see that out front, there's a faded hand-painted sign that says, "Reject immorality, embrace the Lord." Pastor Jim is in full clerical dress, sweeping the front stoop with a face like he is desperately trying to hold in a fart. And you can see that the steeple at the top is still crooked after that meteorite hit from 4 years ago. Further down the road, you pass by McAnally's Hardware and Garden Supply, what used to be a very niche store that has turned into very much a general store here in town to keep up with the Thundering Hills crippled economy. And finally, you pass by a strange little shop that everyone just knows as Ross's Place. It has purple awnings out front, windows crammed with crystals and knickknacks, and a moldering rack of pamphlets on chakras and other such spiritual nonsense sitting out front. The lights are not on, they are never on, and there is no door, simply 3 layers of beaded curtain. But passing by these much beloved cultural landmarks of your hometown, you see the Thundering Hills Historical Preservation Society, where the most boring people in the city get around to document the history of this fair town, and where you, erstwhile teenagers, have been dragged to today. Once your teacher has managed to corral you all to the front of the building, the door creaks open, and you see the museum curator. The gentleman at the door is almost as wide as he is tall and is dressed fully head to toe in a very thinly striped pink and red, like pinstripe suit. He is completely bald on top and has a large goiter hanging under his neck. Bereft of facial features, his head would be exactly the same right side up as it is upside down. He dabs at his sweaty forehead with a handkerchief and looks to the group of you. Yes, welcome, children. My name is Dr. Joaquin Slush. I'll be taking you on a tour through the museum today. Make sure not to touch anything, as I assume that you are all unwashed. And do please listen closely, as I will not be repeating myself. This
I
way,
raise
children.
my hand.
Oh, a bright young mind has a question already.
Excuse
can I
me,
do
you
for you,
said
young man?
that I wasn't allowed to touch anything, but it seems wrong to progress in an agreement with a man, such as a man as yourself, without first shaking his hand. As you know, you can't quite know a man, let alone a blade in the garden used to heap and sow the soybeans each fall, without shaking his hand, emit a calm embrace. May I shake your hand, sir?
His mouth sets in a hard line for a moment, and true to the strange symmetrical nature of his head, his chin furrows exactly the same as his brow. And he sticks out one squishy, sweaty palm to you. And this, children, is called respect for your elders. It will take you far in life. And he gives you a very clammy handshake.
Yeah. Hmm. That's okay. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry. I apologize to everyone. I'm sorry.
Your classmates give you this look of just like, what the hell? But your class is ushered into this building. The Thundering Hills Historical Preservation Society was definitely like a renovated house. It's not very large, and the rooms tend to be a bit cramped for a class of 25 currently. Of course, counting Mrs. Cox. But you are slowly dragged from room to room, learning about the life cycle of coal as it is turned from peat bog into the once lifeblood of this town, as well as reminded of the tragedy that occurred 30 years ago when a natural gas explosion blew up the coal mine at the north end of town, leaving
Might
now
be a natural gas explosion in the back. How you doing?
Mrs. Cox just gives you like a stink eye. Like,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to speak up, but did you just compare your own attractiveness to a massacre that plagued our town and left children without parents and parents without children? Did you do
Yes.
that? Okay.
You can
I
say
just
that.
wanted to
Maybe I did,
confirm.
maybe I didn't. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't.
Um, I think it's time for the very first roll of our first game here. Tuggy, can you go ahead and roll me a brains roll, please?
All right. I'm giving it to you right now. Here we
Difficulty of
go.
4. Hey, look at
I,
that. Perfect.
I got a 4 right on the money.
Right on the money. Uh, you notice as you are sort of chastising your classmate, uh, Dr. Joaquin Slash looks at you with a very jiggly faced sort of respect. It seems you have impressed the good doctor. Um, it is midway through your tour when the four of you, who I assume are sort of towards the back of the pack here, are approached by one of your classmates. Uh, this is a young gentleman who typically is known by the name of Crazy around campus, though his actual name is Jace Grayson. He has curly red hair, a face full of freckles, and the eyes of someone who is going to be arrested for multiple misdemeanors later in life. You know him as the son of the local sheriff, which means he gets away with all of his cherry bomb in the mailbox type shenanigans, no matter what. But he rolls back to the group of you and sort of cuts eyes over to you, Tough. Hey, hey. You want to be cool, right, Boyman?
Want to be cool? You're looking at cool. It's my middle name. My middle name is actually Warren.
Hey, man, that ain't what I heard. But I know how you can be cool.
Was that?
See, my brother volunteers here on weekends, and he told me they got something real special in the backstage, like where they start making all their displays and stuff.
Are we talking figurines or huff and paint?
Even better, man. They've got a vending machine, and it's got crystal tab in it. It's like tab, but it's clear.
Get the fuck out of here.
I ain't lying, man. I ain't
Get the fuck
lying.
out of here.
I wouldn't lie to you. I'd lie to the cops, but not to you.
I like this guy. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Now, hear me out, man. I got $5 in my pocket. The crystal tab in the machine goes for 75 cents a piece. That's enough to get a can for me, a can for you, and a can for. And he sort of like scans over the rest of you, uh, seeing Tuggy and Devin, and very quickly moving away from Devin to look at Tabitha, and just sort of giving a. But yeah, man, they don't leave the door locked, so you can totally sneak back there. What do you say, man?
Like I said, my middle name is Warren. I'm down.
Excellent, man. And he slaps the $5 into your hand. Hey, you may want to take some backup, man. I don't know if they got security up in this. Here,
Right.
I'll cause a distraction. You take your crew and you go get that tab, man.
Devin, Tuggy, Tabitha, come here.
Excuse me, you were the rude young boy I saw earlier. I don't know. I know we're in the same group, but rude young boys don't mix with my ilk if you're talking to me.
Let's just say I'm like a mango jewel. You're not gonna like it at first, but in weeks you can't get enough of me.
Wow. You have convinced me with logic and with charm. I agree to your measures.
Oh, the anachronisms begin. All right, so
Jewel's the thing I made up. What you do is you get a handful of jewels made out of mangoes. You crush them, put them in lines against a mirror, and they go up the old schnoz.
true to the words of Crazy, there is a door just off to the side from the room you are currently in which you are being regaled with the history of the town's founding in 1888, which sits slightly ajar with a sign "Employees Only" written on it. As Crazy raises his hand to ask an obnoxious and obvious question, what are the four of you doing?
I'm
Hey.
thinking I'm thinking about the soybeans, how when it doesn't rain, it seems like they fall on their knees and beg the sky for release.
Okay, right on. I meant more sort of doing in the physical space.
I'm playing around with a rock in my pocket.
Right on. Tabitha, Devin, how are you responding to Tuff's call to action and the siren song of Crystal Tab?
Hey, tough. So, I mean,
Mm,
I know we don't like talk a lot and stuff, but my
let me change
parents
that.
okay, tough, that's not gonna happen. Um, but my parents like don't notice me at all at home, so I'm very good at sneaking if you need some help.
I like you. You're a good guy. I don't.
Yeah, I just like anything to get us out of this little fucking charade. I don't give a shit about this town. So yeah, I'll help you out.
You're in. You're in the crew.
Sweet.
I wasn't paying attention,
Seven.
and I had slipped into an old settlers diorama, a life-size one, where I was like, I'm just like this with a shovel, completely still.
As you're standing back there, Dr. Joaquin Slush looks over and is just, "What? You there, boy! Put that down. That's an antique shovel. Is he one of yours? How did he get in here?" And Mrs. Cox is like, "I'm so sorry. Devin, put the shovel down.
I put the shovel down, but it makes a really loud noise.
Get out of the diorama. What are you doing?"
Brush the hay off myself.
She just
I
full
ask
like
if someone was talking about soda.
she full covers her hands, covers her face with both hands, just turns away, and is beginning to apologize to Dr. Slush.
While
So
this is going on, I explained to my friend Tough Boyman, Tough, listen, I wouldn't be agreeing to this if I were not in a hard line of my own. But the stone will turn, and it has turned on me this time. I will agree to your measures if you do not use the 75 cents you have acquired to buy me a crystal tab, but instead you donate it to my pocket along with the rock so that I might keep it. I need money, and I won't tell you why.
No such thing as a free lunch, but to get you going, I'll do it.
Thank you.
excellent.
Guys at Piggy Bank over here.
All right. So the three of you are in on this. Devin, as you see them start to inch towards the uh, starts to inch towards the employees only area. Are you following them, or what are you doing?
Sort of. My instincts say that I should follow them. So I stick my index finger in the in Tough Boyman's belt loop, just like my mom taught me to do when I felt lost.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. So I'm going to need each of you to please roll me a flight roll. The curator is currently distracted, so I'm going to say it's a it's a difficulty of 5 right now. Oh, that would be flight, not fight. Pastor Andrew.
It's the thing in the brain when the parasympathetic part of your brain goes against the sympathetic brain. I confuse fight and flight. Bear with me.
No worries. Ooh, okay. So, Tuggy, with all the stealth of a bobcat creeping through the cornfields, you effortlessly glide towards uh, the ajar door to the employees only area. However, your three compatriots, perhaps a little bit unsettled by Devon's display of uh, trust as well as creepy closeness to tough women, do actually attract the attention not of your teacher, but of one of your fellow classmates. You see Charlotte Fiala. Uh,
Ugh.
she is she's the kind of teenager who thinks she's very mature. She has the glasses, a jacket with a lot of pockets. She peeks over her shoulder and sees the four of you going. And Tabitha, you're the one close to her. And she's like, "What are you doing?"
What do you think we're doing? We're just following the guy.
Go ahead.
I'm just trying to freak her out.
Okay. 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 Wow. I
Gotta
mean, you
keep her
managed to
guessing.
freak me
Gotta
out.
be weird, you know?
You, you managed to freak me out. Oh dear. Okay.
Winona Ryder over here.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead and give me a charm roll difficulty of 3, let's say.
Okay.
I'll say because right now you're just trying to unsettle her enough that she leaves you alone. Ooh.
No.
Oh, that does remind me. So everyone except for uh, Tuggy should have 1 adversity token because you guys biffed that flight roll. And Tabitha, you get a 2nd adversity token because you just biffed that charm roll.
Cool.
Those can be used in the future to be added to other rolls that you make. But Charlotte, after your display, is like, I feel like I should tell somebody about this. You four are being weird. She says this loud enough for the other 3 of you to hear. Does anyone want to try and jump in on this?
I'm getting desperate and I'm getting scared. I jump in.
Okay. Tuggy, what do you say to your classmate?
How dare you rob me of my 75 cents? Away with you. And I make a quick shove with just a little force, not a lot of force, but a little bit of force. And I like sweep everyone towards the door with my other hand.
Are you trying to sort of be intimidating with this display? Or is it more just like an act of desperation?
It's an act of desperation. I need 75 cents.
Okay. In that case, Tuggy, go ahead and give me. Go ahead and roll me either fight or grit. If you choose to roll fight, you may actually injure her.
I'm choosing grit.
Okay.
That's a gentlemanly move.
Lord. Okay. I was going to say that was a difficulty of like 8, but you full smashed that. Your display is so unsettling to Charlotte that she, as your arm sort of bumps into her, she just like steps back wide-eyed and turns back uh, to the goings on here in the museum, allowing the 4 of you to slip into the back room.
I'm sorry y'all had to see me like that. Just as the cornstalk bends before it breaks, so too does this young man's spirit have to change under the weltering weathers of a cruel system. I don't know what Medicaid is, but it is robbing my family. And if I want to pay for both my father and my dog, I need every cent I can earn. I apologize for nothing. You have seen only a man grow stronger in conviction.
I don't know how to respond to that. So we're going to move on to the description of this new room. So the employees only area here at the Historical Preservation Society consists of an about kitchen sized room with a long wooden topped table sitting right in the center. On it, you can see a number of woodworking tools and painting kits, that have been set up around various displays that are to be put up in the larger museum area that are currently not ready. There is one that shows the progression of peat bog to crude oil as a sort of reference to that one image of like a monkey walking and then turning into a human over time. There is a painted image of a gold rush era settler holding up a large non-gold rock and looking disappointed. And at the other end of the table, there is a very large box which is currently labeled "Do Not Touch." And beyond that box, there is a glowing Coca-Cola brand vending machine with a line of crystal tab cans along the very top. There's also a second door at the further end of the room. You may not be entirely safe. What are the four of you doing?
I'm playing with a rock in my pocket.
Does the box have belt loops on it?
The box does not have belt loops, but it has a very large and apparent handle on the top.
I'm reaching for a can of tab and then I knock them all down. Some of them spray, but some of them are just dented. But they're all warm.
The vending machine is behind a pane of glass. Are you attempting to? Are you attempting to?
Into it. He ran into it pretty hard.
I ran into it pretty hard.
He's like a bird flying into a window.
Tough swung me off of his belt loop like I was on a tube behind a cigarette boat.
Okay, go ahead and give me a brawn roll, please.
Cigarette boats.
Did you say a brawn?
Yes, brawn, please. Okay. I do also have to correct myself. Please, story, forgive me. Coca-Cola was not what I meant to say. This is a Crow-Croa vending machine.
Goddamn right it is. Don't you ever take Coca-Cola's name in vain again. I'll curse you with the curses that my mama taught me.
Please forgive me, Brother Reid, but I was momentarily forgetting my place and the fact that Crow-Croa acquired the Tab brand in the early 1980s, sometime after the NES, but before the fall of the Berlin Wall. Somewhere right in that sweet spot.
I forgive you with all the forgivenesses my father taught me.
Yeah, Crow is the one with that commercial where Drew Barrymore, that child, hands the East German border guard a Crow and everyone cheers.
Exactly. Okay, so getting back to Devin, I'm going to say that was not enough to fully break through the sort of plexiglass coating on this vending machine. So go ahead and take an adversity token. But I want you to describe what happens as you run full bodily into this vending machine right now.
I get flung off the belt loop with a shake of a tough woman's lamb's tail, and I get thrown into it by the side. Well, my whole side hits it. It wobbles and shakes, and there's a moment there where it looks like it's going to fall on me, and it's about to fall on me. It's tipping down.
So
and then the rest of the people are standing around, and no one comes to help, and it falls on me.
Okay. In an effort to not kill a character in the first episode, I am going to ask if any of our other three teenagers step in at all as Devin is being faced down by wobbly soda-filled death.
He took a risk by being part of the crew. I'm going to help him out.
Okay. Tough Boyman leaps into action. Go ahead and give me a brawn roll difficulty of 4, let's say.
Okay, and I just I don't mind.
Yep, you just go to your character sheet and click that big word brawn. Oh dear.
Got adversity tokens though.
Yes, you do have adversity tokens to spend if you would like. You can choose to use one of those and bump your roll up by 1 for each one you spend.
Doing it. He's my
yeah.
boy. He's my boy
Okay.
on the streets of Toledo. You never
Thank
leave a man
you.
behind. Don't say
You-
thank you. It makes you look like a small man.
You are filled with purpose in this moment. You feel a little bit of that good Toledo grease flow through your veins, and you manage to stop this mechanical death from crushing the weird kid in class. Excellent work. The cans rattle around inside the machine, and thankfully, not a drop of crystal tab was spilled. The bottom rack row, which is entirely open glass bottles of Crocroa, has made a horrible mess, and it is starting to reek. It looks like they ran out of bottle caps about halfway down when filling this machine.
No
Uh,
happen.
For our other two members of the party, what are you two doing as this is going on? There's this whole room with the various displays that are currently being worked on. There is that door at the far end of the room, and there is that large labeled box that says "Do not touch."
Well, I'm just kind of standing in the corner watching this all. I don't really want to interject, but I'm just like peeking in the box.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So
not
you are
looking at it, but like I kind of want to know what's in it. So
okay.
they're all distracted, so I'm just gonna try to see what's in it.
Tabitha giving the box those eyes.
I see. I see. Tuggy, as she's doing this, we will resolve that in just a moment, Tabitha. Tuggy, what are you up to besides playing with your pocket rock?
I'm furious. I'm furious. I'm so mad.
Oh no, what has pissed off the soybean boy?
There is a clear sign demarcating rules of engagement on this box. And my good friend Tabitha, well, she's ignoring all protocol and she's making a go for it.
I'm just looking at it, to be fair.
How can you look at it without touching it, at least with your eyes?
Speaking
see-
of looking, Tabitha, can you please go ahead and give me a brain roll? I'm going to give, I mean, it's sitting right on the table. I'm going to give this a difficulty of 4. Oh my God. Destroyed.
Look at Alfred Einstein over here.
Destroyed. Okay, beautiful. So Tabitha, you take a look at this box. It's a large sort of metallic, like a fisherman's bait box. You know how it's got that big clamping hook on the front and then the handle and like the multiple sections on the inside. It is currently held ajar by one of those little folding metal arms inside the box. And there's a very strange object set into the black foam interior of this box. It looks like some sort of statuette in sort of a grayish green striated metal of some kind. The shape of it is difficult to make out without a closer examination, but you can see that it's sort of a larger central shape, and then there is another broken piece just off to the right side in its own little foam cushion. And there's a little label on the front that just says recovery point, mine collapse. Do not touch. And then in pink gel pen underneath it, in parentheses, it says use gloves, please.
All right. Guys, I don't mean to, sorry, I know we're all gonna enjoy this crystal tab, but this is pretty fucking weird, guys.
What's weird? Your indiscretion, your inability to. I'm sorry, I'm just so mad I can't even form a simple simile.
Well, Tug, I feel like this is kind of important a little bit, but I don't know. If we don't want to look at it, it's chill.
Now that Tabitha has pointed out, this object is clearly visible to Tuff and Devon, who are still currently by the vending machine. There is a grease spot on the plexiglass cover of the machine where Devon's forehead impacted the plexiglass. but it does not obscure the crystal tab that you came in here for. What are you two doing as this revelation has been brought to light?
I'm telling Everett, screaming, I swear to God, I use morning burst. This is not my grease on my, this is not my, this was there. This was already there. I saw it when we came in.
Are you actually
This is
yelling
not
at the
mine.
moment?
This is me yelling.
Okay, that you're at this volume right now.
This is me yelling. This is as high
Gotcha.
as loud and as ferocious as I can get. I use morning burst. That's not my grease. It was there when we got here. I keep saying this over and over again until someone interrupts me.
Devin, go ahead and roll charm. Tough, I would love for you to roll brains, just to see if Devin's assertions take any hold. Oh my God, Devin just showcased the exploding property of the die here in uh, Kids on Bikes. If you roll the maximum on a given die, you roll again, which is how Devin somehow rolled 10 on a d6, but also how Tough rolled a 5 on a d4.
Does that mean
Uh,
I'm charming?
that means in this moment, actually, I'm going to throw it to Tough. Tough, how does Devin continuously repeating that he uses Morning Burst face cleanser convince you that that grease spot on the vending machine is not his?
This guy is hypnotizing. I would march into battle for this guy. The tenor of his voice, the sheen on his forehead, the sparkle in his eye. He's got an oldness to him, and I will betray my own mother for you.
Beautiful. Truly a friendship forged in fire. So, are you pursuing the tab or are you pursuing the box currently, Tough Boyman?
Box, big time.
Oh, okay, cool. Tab has fully been abandoned.
And
So-
instead, they're coming over to Tabitha.
Hey.
Hey.
Well,
Okay,
I gotta go, everyone. Thank you.
This is fun. See ya.
Oh man. Sister Callista, for that truly just
no.
rotten egg pun, go ahead and take an adversity token.
Oh, God damn it.
Excellent.
Bada bing.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so are all of you gathered around the box at this point? Or is
Oh, yeah.
anyone's... Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
So the four of you...
Devin held my finger like a child.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Uh.
Isn't Devin like... hold on, how tall is Tough Boyman?
He towers in at a shocking 4'8".
Oh my God!
It's high school. I haven't hit my growth spurt yet.
That's totally fine. I'm just imagining you leading 5'10" Devin along.
Oh,
But the thing is that he's 5'10", but he's missing a lot of hair, therefore he is weak.
Ah, I see. He's missing all them good proteins.
Yeah, very malnourished, gray, newspaper skin.
Oh, this cursed husk of a person. It breaks my heart. But the four of you approach this box. I'm gonna say everyone go ahead and give me a brains roll. We're not looking for a particular number here. I'm just gonna see who notices what right now.
Wow.
Holy moly, Tuggy.
That's what I said last night. Holy moly, Tuggy.
And you know what? This is somehow very appropriate.
that actually really works.
This spread really works out. So starting from the bottom, Devin.
Yeah.
The lid of this box and the base of this box are different colors.
Mhm.
That's weird. There's also a little sticker on the side that's partially ripped off, but it says US Mill and then doesn't have anything else on there. So I feel like a wire snaps somewhere in your head. What is the what is the conclusion that Devin would draw from this?
My instinct would be to pick off the rest of the sticker, roll up in a little ball, and flick it onto the floor.
You immediately begin picking at the side of this box.
I immediately begin picking at the sticker.
Just
Excellent.
nervously.
Excellent.
I haven't even noticed that it's a box. If someone asked me what shape it was, I'd be like a triangle. I don't know.
Do you still have your fist around? Are you just picking at it and you're still holding on to it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Someone needs to
that's
slap
nice.
someone needs to slap my hand before I ruin a clue. But it's getting late because I'm a fast picker.
Yeah. And I imagine Devin has got like long, raggedy, like untrimmed nails.
Disgusting fingernails full of food and dirt.
Yeah. That thing is basically like a paint scraper and is demolishing the sticker. But moving up the line, Tough. You're now getting a good look at this strange figure that is inside the box, and it appears to be some sort of statuette. But the shape is very wrong. It doesn't appear to be the statuette of a person necessarily. But the way it is set into the foam currently, it's hard to make out all of its features. For Tuggy and Tabitha, God, these T names, I'm going to mess this up at some point. Both of you note that there appears to be a sort of sectional area that can be lifted out in order to further expose this statue. And it appears to be a fairly decent size, but mostly obscured by this foam.
I hope it's a statue of the Virgin Mary. God bless.
Thank you, Tough. What are the four of you doing with this box?
I go ahead and touch it. I'm sick of it. If this is what's going to distract us from the tab, I'll go ahead and touch it and we can get back to the tab and you can give me my 75 cents. My dog is sick. I'm sorry. I'm so mad. My dog is sick.
So you're the one who touches it, Tucky.
There. See, we did it. We touched it.
Well,
can we give me
actually,
75 cents now? I'm sorry,
Tuggy,
70 no cents.
Can you go ahead and give me a grit roll, please?
I don't understand why, but okay. There you go,
7.
big old 7.
Okay. So you press down on the mechanism that sort of opens up this box, reach in and sort of roughly pick up this statuette. And as soon as you remove it from the box, you can see that this is definitely not the statuette of a person. What you're looking at has a humanoid base to the body. It has 2 legs, a trunk of a torso, and a head, but after that, that is where it stops resembling a human. Extending down from the midsection of the torso are 3 long snake-like trunks that curl over the base of the statuette. Extending from either side are 4 arms, and the head appears to be featureless except for what appears to be a large moth that is placed over the face with the wings fanned out to either side, printed with hundreds of little eyes. The statue is broken in multiple places. Part of the head has been taken off, part of one of the trunks, 2 of the arms, and one of the strange bird-like clawed feet is partially missing. But as you pick it up and your skin makes contact, all 4 of you feel a very drastic change in this room. It hits Tuggy first. You're not wrong, Tuggy. It is like a cold wind blows not over your body, but over your mind.
It's like a cold wind blew through my mind.
Can I get a grit roll from everyone else, please? Your target number is what Tuggy rolled, 7. Oh, wow, look at Devin. Hey. Okay, so that's going to be an adversity token for Tough and for Tabitha. Devin, you feel this sort of pressure move outward from this statuette that is being held by Tuggy. You manage to stand fast, but it fully bowls both Tough and Tabitha over as the pulse moves outward. The 4 of you begin to hear these hissing sounds just in the furthest parts of your mind, as well as this sensation like your brain in your skull is being slowly rotated, as though in a microwave on a low speed setting. And as this vibration passes from your cognitive function into your physical body, rattling your teeth all the way down to the bones underneath your flesh, there's a soft click as the door that leads into this room slowly begins to open. Someone is about to enter the employees only area, where the four of you should not be, touching something that you should not touch. This is going to be a snap reaction. There will be no taking half on your die here. What are the four of you doing?
Playing with the rock in my pocket. With the other hand, I mean, I'm touching the object, but I get nervous, and I was touching the rock in my pocket.
Okay,
I pick it. I'm holding it though. I might throw that rock if I have to.
okay. Noted, noted. What are the other three doing?
I'm putting my arm around my crew and saying I'm willing to die for you guys.
Oh,
You
okay.
guys.
So even in this moment, you're being protective.
I don't get a lot of
I
it at
am-
home
Okay, okay.
because we don't have a door. It's dangerous. People can walk right in. It's wild. You
I
wake
love it.
up, there's a family at the living room eating out of the same bowl of Cheerios.
Devin, how are you reacting to this sudden intrusion at this space?
I mean, I immediately go on the defense, and I can't see who it is, but I tell them that it's a Happy Meal and it's not a big deal. So
Okay, okay. And Tabitha, what are you doing in this moment?
I was gonna try to throw us all on the ground, but Tough kind of pushed us back behind him. So I'm just like,
So your first instinct was to hide there then.
but to get everyone to hide, kind of. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna say let's get a brawn roll from Tough, a charm roll from Devin, and a flight roll from Tuggy and from Tabitha.
I misdid. I meant to be a flightman.
No
I was
worries, no
punished
worries.
Justly.
Oh man. Okay, so Devin, how on your second charm roll you have a
charming,
D6.
charming young man, and this piece of shit looks like a Happy Meal to me. And this,
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Tabitha, you successfully dive behind the table here, um, managing to conceal yourself physically from the doorway. All four of you are still sort of woozy and off kilter from whatever this psychic disturbance was that emanated from this statuette at making contact with Tuggy's many palm skin oils. Speaking of, Tuggy, go ahead and take an adversity token because you are sort of caught in the wash here. Your lucky rock is going to provide you no protection from this interloper into this space.
It was never a lucky rock. It was a rock of attrition.
I love it.
Every year, Dad gives me a new one, and one day they'll bury me.
Whoa.
Sorry, if you ask me about my rock, I'm going to tell you about it.
Oh my goodness. Tough, you throw your arms out in front of your party mates here, as in the same moment as Devin calls out this bizarre phrasing, that it's just a Happy Meal. It's not that big a deal. And the door stops opening for a second. And you hear a voice on the other side of the door. You got McDonald's in there, Joaquin? I thought you were on a diet, man. Come on, we talked about this. How do the four of you respond?
Oh, Devin, do one of your world famous impressions.
Devin, I don't know how, but you somehow got the mouth and brain of a genius. Please save us.
I had a lapse. I broke. I was driving home, see my wife and family, and I passed by the Donnies. And you know me, it's just the Filet-O-Fish. It's Lentinol.
Whoa. Okay.
I didn't even know they did Happy Meals with Filet-O-Fish. Not many kids be eating this.
Please go ahead and give me a charm roll and go ahead and take like a +3 on that just for the effort.
Oh no.
Okay. Your target number is 7 here. Do you want to spend adversity tokens on this?
Feels like a pivotal moment. Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and mark those adversity tokens off. You get yourself up to 7 here. And the man on the other side of the door just pauses and is like, Joaquin, you gotta stop doing this, man. The doctor said if your goiter gets any bigger, your forehead's gonna grow to compensate. What's Darla gonna do if your forehead growth takes you out, man?
At this moment, I've realized that I'm confused, but I doubled down and I decided to say that I'm an Academy Award winner. And I can eat whatever I want, whenever I want.
Oh my God.
Let me have a goddamn Filet-O-Fish Happy Meal. It's just a smaller fish.
Wow. Okay. Whoa. Sorry, thrown a little bit off by that one. Um, Go ahead and make either a brawn if you're trying to be intimidating, or a charm if you're trying to convince this unknown person that Dr. Joaquin Slush is an Academy Award winner. I'm gonna say you got a difficulty of 10 either way.
In what?
2.
A 2. Is that good?
Oh no. You see, what you want to do there is to not roll under half of what I was going for there. At that moment, the door's like, wait, hold on a minute. And the door is thrown open. You see a younger gentleman, fairly handsome, dark brown skin, hair back in some like braids, pink sweater vest on. His arms are currently loaded with like woodworking tools in a milk crate. He's got a big pair of chunky glasses, and he has a parakeet sitting on either shoulder. As he busts into the room, is like, now just what in the Sam hell is... His eyes flip between the group of children here, one of whom is like stanced up, trying to protect the others, one of whom is covered in clothing that has duck heads, if I remember correctly.
They're
And one of whom,
mallards, but the brand is Duckhead.
thank you, mallards. And one of whom is holding the very old Do Not Touch statuette. And he just goes, ah! And drops all of the woodworking tools, quickly pulls on a pair of rubber gloves, and is like, put that down! What are you doing? You're gonna ruin it! And is attempting to wrestle it away from you, Tuggy. How are you responding to this?
I scream and I get defensive. Everyone back away, back away!
Okay, go ahead and make a brawn roll. Ooh, okay, 9. So I am going to roll for this mystery gentleman. He rolls a D6 for brawn.
He just accidentally kills him.
I swear, I've only rolled corn. I screw corn.
Okay. You managed to wrestle the statuette out of his hands, you know when you first put gloves on and they haven't really gotten like tacky and textured yet, so they can't quite grab anything?
Mm-hmm.
His hands slip off of the fine micro dust, grit, and gravel that cover your hands. Uh, and as you go reeling backwards, your elbow cracks into the corner of the statuette's box, sending that one missing piece flipping into the air. Uh, which, as it passes through the air, magnetizes right to the space on this statue and clicks into place, returning the 1 foot that had been broken off, which appears to be balanced on top of a canine skull with its bird-like claws digging into the eye holes. Uh, as that snaps into place, another shockwave blasts outwards. Go ahead and everybody give me a brawn roll, please. Your DC is 6.
Oh no.
Oh dear. Okay, so Tabitha and Devin, go ahead and take adversity tokens as you are both sent tumbling ass over tea kettle. Devin, you are thrown up uh, onto the actual like work table itself, landing on a pile of hammers. What was that?
A circular saw.
Oh no. You think they can afford power tools here? This is a place that a lot of love has gone into and not a lot of money.
Mm.
Tabitha, you are
Just like
thrown.
the American school system.
Ayo.
Ayo.
Tough says
So
in a
much-
moment of clarity.
Yeah. As you're reeling from this powerful force blast.
I read USA Today this morning. I'm smart as fuck.
But tough, Reagan hasn't ruined the U.S. school system yet. It's only.
We're still in the 80s, man. There's still hope. Tabitha, you go log rolling into a pile of empty paint cans underneath the table, making just a clattering noise.
Ah, that's
Tuggy,
it.
that's a great noise.
Ah.
Tuggy and Tough, both of you hold fast in this moment. However, our currently unnamed friend is thrown full off his feet and smacks back into the wall, and both of his birds take off into the air. In a very cartoon way, sort of circling over his head to show that he is dazed and probably has a concussion.
Oh, that's fun.
He sort of reels and like, oh, what? And the 4 of you have an opportunity here. He's incapacitated. The statuette, Tuggy, you don't remember letting go of the statuette, but it is fully sitting on top of the closed box at this point.
Must be some kind of magic trick.
What are the 4 of you doing in this moment?
I'm grabbing a Sharpie off the table and sneaking up to my friend who's on the ground and putting cartoon X's over his eyes into thinking that we trick him to thinking that he's dead with the birds and what have you.
Oh man. Okay. Go ahead and give me a brains roll. Give me like a 6.
Oh.
Do you want to spend adversity tokens on that, or are we gonna let that 3 ride?
I think he can deal with having pain on his eyeballs. We're gonna let this one ride.
You go to draw X's over his eyes, and you get X's on his like Coke bottle thick rim glasses.
Oh shit.
Which does disorient him as he opens his eyes and is like, oh no, I'm partially blind, but only in X's.
We call that the tough boyman 2-time in Toledo. We'll just forget the book.
Tough Boyman's Toledo 2-time.
The tough boyman Toledo 2-time.
Because you have to draw it on
Sounds
both
like an Atari
eyes.
game.
That's my favorite radio station. There's a clattering in the background, and I believe Tuggy would be the only one nearby enough, but you notice several cans of crystal tab have been knocked clear from the inside of this machine by this final shockwave and are currently resting down in the collection bin at the bottom.
I'm terrified. I know that these were for going to be 75 cents a pop. I grab 3 of them and I make a break for it. That's $2.25. I just need to get money from my dog.
Wonderful. Give me a flight roll. Let's go. Let's say
I didn't
that's
think I
a
was a
difficulty of
coward,
4.
but here I am.
Okay. Passed with flying colors or flighting colors.
Ah, there it is.
This
Tuggy grabs
guy, funny.
Tuggy grabs an armful of lukewarm crystal tab and bolts for the door. Devin, what are you doing in this moment? You are currently laying on your back on a pile of hammers, arms out to either side like Christ on the cross.
I scramble up and I see Tough over by the man, and I misread the situation a little bit. And I reach down into the man's back pocket of his khakis trying to get his wallet, but it's not there because he's a front pocket wallet guy. So instead, I just end up getting a handful of cheek.
Oh man, do you want to actually root around for his wallet, or are you so disoriented by a handful of this
The,
this
the
nerdy
handful of
gentleman?
cheek sends me running.
This you find
Technically
this
assault.
you find this nerdy gentleman to be thicker than you expected, and you just bolt for the door.
I was expecting a wallet, and I got the full bank. So then I bolt.
Oh no! I can't not give you an adversity token for that one. You don't deserve it, but take one. Oh man. Oh geez. Okay. Tabitha, you just seen all this happen real fast. What are you doing as you're getting up from your paint can tumble?
Yeah, so I've just been like, oh, or in these paint cans,
You've been making a lot of noises over there.
lots of noises. And I'm trying to get up, and I like cartoon kick and go whoa, and kick a paint can right at the guy's head as I'm also falling backwards.
Okay, well, this brings me to a
Here's the thing. Tabitha, she plays volleyball. She's got legs that could break a fence in half with a single kick. This guy is injured, if not dead.
that's actually really fun because there is a niche rule in the system that there are no called shots and there is no pulled punches. So if you roll high enough, you will kill this man in this moment.
just a little bit of manslaughter on the field trip.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a fight roll. You're looking
Tabitha wouldn't kill him. Okay.
you're looking for a 5.
Manslaughter.
Yeah.
You're looking for a 5.
Here we go.
For fight, you said?
Yes, fight roll, please.
Oh god.
Perfect. Perfect. Now, you only deal a killing blow if you get like 10 above what you're going for. Hitting
Okay.
it just on the mark, you cartoon stumble on one of these paint cans, hook it with your sneaker, yeet it across the room. Tough, you feel it whiz right past your ear and brain this guy right in the middle of the head. He full collapses onto the ground. His wallet spills out of his front pocket. His glasses are broken completely in half. And his 2 little like lovebirds come and sit down on his head and are just like, is he okay? Peck, peck. Oh no.
You know, it's
So
bad
I
when the
read-
birds are worried.
I read USA Today today that the part of the head that the paint can hit, that's called the prefrontal cortex. It's used for decision making and behavior. This guy's not coming out of this the same person he was when he walked into this room.
No, he's not. I'm
Thanksgiving,
writing this down.
Ruins.
Good, because he came into
Guy's
this room
name
super
may as-
nosy.
This guy's name may as well be Phineas Gage. Am I right? Am I
Flies
right?
off the hook.
Wow. Imagine being this guy walking into your employee back room, seeing a bunch of children getting hit with a force blast. Someone draws X's on your glasses. You're physically assaulted, and then you get hit in the head with a paint can.
Yeah, and he
He
can't remember
squeezed
some-
my ass. The ass squeeze was the most insulting part. I don't know why they had to do that.
It was
Yeah,
just a cup.
That's kicking a man while he's down, literally. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna say with your pursuer conked out, if anyone wants to grab some crystal tab, there's still like 6 cans in there, but you are
Mm.
able to fully book it out of here with anything in tow that you choose to take.
Was I gone or could I go back?
I mean,
Did-
I'm gonna say you have gotten to the door and you hear just the visceral
Bonk.
clank
Crack,
of this
fizz.
can against this guy's forehead. There's not like there's not like a drip of blood, but there is like a bruise already.
oh,
This
I
guy's
feel
gonna have a real lump.
I just
He's
want to
got a
look in
slow
for one quick
breakthrough.
second, be like, what in the heck? And then I notice a wallet on the ground and I say, if you put me in this deep, you better expect me to swim, Grandpa. And I grab the wallet and I run with my tab.
Wonderful. The other three of you, Chaos Gremlins, what do you do?
I'm
This-
putting a couple cans of tab in my uh tactical cargos, and I'm out.
I was about to say, Devin's exactly the guy that wears tactical cargos. Yeah.
Keep them cool, baby. Well, keep them room temp.
How about Tough and Tabitha? Do you do anything before you bounce out of here? Anyone gonna check and see if this guy's alive?
I mango jewel it. I take my precious jewel, mortar and pestle it, take a little bit of a bump, and then meet up with my friends.
This is where we
Love
learn
mango
that
jewel.
this is where we learn that Tough just calls cocaine mango jewel.
Mango jewel. That sweet Thailand mango jewel. So he's just rocked on cocaine for the rest of this.
Oh, absolutely. You're gonna
Okay,
get like
sweet.
you're gonna get a +1 to all physical rolls and a -1 to
Hmm.
all mental rolls.
That's a-
Perfect. Do you guys like Rush, but the good Rush?
Yeah. Tabitha,
Well, I need some help getting up so I don't comically injure one of my friends again. My new friends. So
I'll say you're able to get up out of the paint can pile a little more carefully this time with less
Okay.
cartoon physics.
I'm worried because my parents have a history of exploiting their workers, and I don't want to cause any harm, so I'm gonna do like a little peek over to the guy.
Go
that I
ahead and give
see-
me a
see-
go
yeah.
ahead and give me a brains roll.
check.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. Wow, brains. Thank God we have someone with a brain cell in this party. You reach down, you check his pulse. Okay, he's alive. He's breathing. You put him on his side, so in case he vomits from the head injury you just gave him, he won't choke to death.
Sick.
Uh, you do note that he had that along the edges of his sweater vest, like military medals, he has a ton of Star Trek pins. And you also note that one of the birds, which are a pair of lovebirds, they're little like pinkish orange parakeets, one of them has fully taken a dump on the side of his head.
Oh, no. Okay, well then I'm gonna put some tab in my big pockets in my coat and be like,
Okay.
yeah.
So between the four of you, you have absconded with one man's wallet, a unsettling vibration that does not want to seem to leave your brain, a bump of cocaine, and
Mango
like,
jewel.
of course, Mango Jewel, and like 11 cans of Crystal Tab. Congratulations.
We did it.
I'm gonna need a quick charm roll from everybody. Difficulty of, let's say, 6. Feel free to spend adversity tokens on this, or take half if you must.
There's no way I'm doing this.
I have like 5 adversity tokens, so I might do it.
Yeah, this is your charm roll to get back into the group without getting in trouble.
Yeah, I'm gonna take some.
Okay?
I can't. I failed it and there's no way to redeem it.
Okay. So I'll say Devin, how did you explode on a charm roll again?
Charming young man.
Wow.
Because when I speak, people think I'm an adult.
It's the bald spot.
So the bar is a little lower. Yeah.
So the four of you stumble back out to rejoin your group. The only one who is in any way suspicious is Tuggy,
Mm.
who brings up the rear and is very obviously holding a wallet that is not his in one hand.
I'm a monster.
Um, you catch the eye of Miss Cox, who like looks at you, looks you up and down, and like, Tuggy, when we're done here, you and me are gonna have a talk.
Mhm. I look at Mrs. Cox and I bow my head in a deep bend of shame.
Go ahead and roll another charm roll, please.
So bad I can't redeem it. I'm sorry. I announce to the classroom, I have betrayed a stranger.
You physically say this out loud?
I physically say this out loud. I
Oh
can't
my
get it
God.
off my chest soon enough.
We're gonna smash cut from that disruption. Give me a grit roll, Tuggy, because as soon as everyone leaves the Historical Preservation Society, Miss Cox takes you off to the side and fully gives you a lecture. And Miss Cox's lectures are legendarily scathing. I will say an 11 is enough to retain your composure. Tuggy does not cry. I hope you learned your lesson about being disruptive. And also, I know you were trying to be respectful with that bow, okay? But also, you just don't do that. That is not what a human person does. What is wrong with you?
You don't even know what's wrong with me. I've witnessed things that no child should see and no plant should be grown with. I couldn't.
Oh my God. Come on, we're going back to school. Come on. And we drift away from the Historical Preservation Society back to Hills High. The rest of you go through the remainder of your day, a fairly normal school day with a significantly higher amount of crystal tab in it than one would expect. Tuggy, the wallet that you stole,
Mhm.
fully stole from an unconscious man, contains $24. It contains a library card.
That's a rich you can't even measure in dollars.
It contains a business card for a person whose like tagline of what they do is a collectibles resell agent.
Mm.
You find this man's driver's license. In the driver's license photo, he has both birds on his shoulders.
Normally, they don't allow that. For terrorist attacks, they would make you take off your birds.
He's a special exemption. They're therapy birds. But his name is Quentin Kirk. Yeah, you fully now in possession of a stranger's wallet. Unless there's anything you guys want to do, like meeting back up with one another, I do have one other little scene I'd like to jump into that will require me to ask some quick questions of you. But is there any scene that any of the four of you want to play out in the wake of what has been happened, what is done here today?
Just real quick, I need to sell some tab. I
Okay.
need more money.
Okay.
I'm out in the parking lot of the school after school has ended for the day. and I'm watching the cars go by, and I'm holding out crystal tabs, and I don't have a sign or nothing, but I'm saying out loud to everyone, $1, please.
Okay. I'm going to say that's a brains roll because you're definitely upselling from the the free that these tabs were. Yeah, go ahead and give me a brains roll difficulty of 4.
No. Wait. I need to sell this tab. I use an adversity token.
Okay, wonderful. So you go ahead and get an additional, like you grab 3 of those. So let's say you get an additional $3 because you sell all 3 crystal tab because this stuff is, you see, the secret ingredient is crystal meth. It's like when they used to make Coke with actual cocaine.
Just want to
Or
say you can make Coke. You can make Coke with cocaine on your own.
exactly. And that's why everyone drinks Crocoa instead.
Hot boiling menthol taste. It hurts. It hurts. That's how you know you like it.
Exactly. It's the more wholesome family drink. You're not going to feed your kids Coke.
Anyway, I have $27, and as much as it pains me, this was enough to get out of really depriving someone of their dignity, because I'm $27 closer to helping my dog.
Oh, yeah, you really just ruined that guy's day. Was there anything anyone else wanted to do? Because I do have some questions for the crowd here.
Bring on the next. Bring on the next chapter.
Okay, wonderful. We are getting close to the wrapping up of our show, but there is one lovely thing I would love to do just before we finish up today. So I'm going to throw it to each of you in turn. I want you to describe, as the day comes to a close, what each of your bedrooms are like as you go to sleep. We're going to start with Tough.
I got a real bad boy bedroom. I sleep in a race car bed, and it's a little smaller than a twin bed, but it's a race car. I'm talking a Corvette with Ferrari red on it. And on the walls, I got pictures of all my heroes. I've got a picture of Michael Landis from Little House on the Prairie, one of the most underrated shows on TV. I've got a poster of my favorite rock band. These people can bring the heat. They scream it and they please it. I've got a big old poster of the Eagles. And next to that, this is the scariest thing of all. I've got a real tough guy, a real man's man, a scary dude. I've got a painted portrait that I did myself in art class of my favorite president, Warren G. Harding.
Oh,
he's a bad
wonderful.
boy. Try telling him no. Go back in time. Try telling him no.
Wonderful. Question. If I remember correctly in your character profile, you sleep in the same room as your younger brother, correct?
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. What is your younger brother's name, and what does he look like?
My younger brother's name is Bruiser Boyman. He's my size exactly. He's a few years younger, a little slowed down. He's got problems with his insulin. Sweet boy, smart kid. I like him. He's a good guy. I don't want him to have the life that I did.
He really is a sweet boy.
He's a sweet boy. He's a good guy. You're talking about my family now, so I'm getting a little.
No, it's fine. Bruiser is already asleep by this point. When you settle down in your race car bed, right next to that beautiful painting of Harding that you made yourself.
It'll move you to tears. It's
Yeah.
Renaissance. The way I play with light is fantastic.
And it really just draws you to sleep. Tabitha, what's your room like as you're getting ready for bed tonight?
So my room is a pretty big room.
Mm-hmm.
I live in a mansion. I don't want anyone to know that. My room is decorated in the princess style that my mom thought that I would like, because my mom has never had a conversation with me that was longer than 30 seconds. So it's got one of those canopy beds, all pink and flowy, and there's, little cutesy little rabbits on the walls, and I hate it. And I've tried to paint over it, and it doesn't really work. The wallpaper is just like so stuck. I can't get over it. But yeah, it's just flowy and pink and my mom put in some posters of some volleyball players because she thought I played volleyball, but I don't. I'm an artist. They think I play sports. So
Truly the room of someone who's misunderstood by everyone around them.
yeah. And that I did play volleyball though as a kid, but only because they forced me. But I didn't try out for the team in high school. So
You kept your legs strong enough to crack the skull of a man this afternoon.
Yep. Surprisingly strong.
That's the kind of strength. That's the kind of
Yeah.
strength that never goes.
You broke a man's skull. You're going,
As you turn out the light and you don't have to look at this horrible room anymore, you drift off to sleep. Tuggy,
Yes.
back home at the Rubcorn Ranch, what is your bedroom like?
I stand at the window. I behold the fields of soybeans to the left, the hectares of corn to the right, each of them a glimmering pond of produce waiting for the scythe of the farmer to chow down and chop and to produce the harvest. I stand in my mother's bedroom. She died giving birth to me. Not that I was a difficult child to birth. She smoked me down to wait, you see. But she was plowing the fields and was distracted loading her pipe and did, in fact, get cut down herself like a young stalk of corn by the John Roder's Tri-Series combine feature. And there was enough of her left to birth me, so I stand in her room. This is my room now. I have not changed her sheets. I have not cleaned the mirror. Her pipe is still on the mantle, and underneath the pillow, there is a People magazine. On it, Matt Dillon is on the cover. Kim Basinger, there's an interview inside with her. And though I read this magazine every night, I think these people hate me, and I would never show my face to them.
Does Tad sleep in the same room as you?
Tad did sleep in the same room as me. Tad is my dog, my only companion besides the soybeans and the corn and the soil itself upon which I was birthed. Tad would sleep on my legs, but ever since the infection of the dog uterus, she has had to spend many a night in the hospital.
As you come home this evening, Tad is laying in her dog bed. She is not strong enough to get up out of bed most days, and she sort of gives a weak bark as you come home. And
Tad, you don't know the things I did for you. Tad, you don't know the things I did for you. I'd do them again.
she just gives you a look of love that, in your mind, might be the way a mother loves a son, and rests her head on her little paws.
That'll do, dog.
As you drift off to sleep with the scent of corn and soybeans wafting into your room, Devin, what is your room like?
Yes.
When you go home to that empty house, all the lights are off.
Well, because I'm scared of the dark, absolutely terrified of the dark, I usually take rest in the breezeway, which is a linoleum floor. But the moon comes through, so it's a little bit lighter. I sleep in a dog bed. Dog's not there anymore. I use a lava lamp to keep me company. I put little googly eyes on the top of it. There's a bowl full of keys next to my dog bed. I don't know where any of them go. And a thing from my childhood that I keep is the my dad got me little blocks that spelled out my name. But he was doing it. My mom was telling him to get him over the phone, and he wouldn't remember my name, so it says Kevin. But yeah, that's my room.
As you settle down into your dog bed, the watchful, slowly melting googly eyes of your lava lamp, because those things are hot, watch over you. as you're settling down for a night's rest. Now that all four of you are asleep, all four of you experience a very similar dream. You find yourselves in a dark, stretching, winding series of corridors, like the hollow intestines of some dead, far-off giant. You find yourselves running through these whistling, wind-struck tunnels, as behind you, you can only understand that you are pursued, if not reckon the shape of your pursuer. You're followed by a green light, a sickly green that washes over everything, staining everything that it touches. It's accompanied by this strange, somber rhythm. Can everyone give me a brains roll real quick? Woof. Okay.
Fucking
Um,
one?
The
I'm not good at math.
the fear and the stress in this moment is a bit much for some of you to really reckon what's going on here. But Tabitha, you've listened to enough music in your time. This beat it's familiar to you. Someone is playing Walk Like an Egyptian on 16 speed in this nightmare space. All four of you run well into the morning in your dreams. Starting with Tough Boyman, when you awaken, please tell me how your room has been changed, as random objects have changed scale dramatically, becoming larger or bigger in the room around you. What has happened to your room in this case?
So my one's twin bed, smaller than a twin bed. This thing's as big as a Lincoln. I'm saying you can have a party in the back.
Mm-hmm.
I look around and I'm gripped with terror. I don't get spooked easy, but I'm gripped with terror as I see that my favorite band, the Eagles, has now turned into one of my most reviled bands, Twisted Sister. And as I'm looking around the room, my brother, he's 34 feet tall, sleeping in his race car bed. But even scarier than that, behind him, the painting of Warren G. Harding and get this, close your ears if you get scared easy. Instead of Warren G. Harding, it's Chester Ray Arthur.
The space around you is irrevocably warped. You attempt to stand up from your bed and you find that you're only 9.5 inches tall in this moment.
Yeah, to
Please,
some people that's kind of big.
hey,
How you doing? How you doing?
please go ahead and give me a grit roll in this moment. You want to hit at least a 6.
I wouldn't count on that. Fuck.
You stumble out of bed and you fall face first onto the hardwood floor underneath you. The sound of your tiny body impacting the wood begins to stir your massive brother in his bed. Go ahead and what size is the die of your grit die?
D10.
D10. Okay. Do you have any adversity tokens right now?
I got 2.
Okay. Go ahead and mark off one of those adversity tokens, as in this moment of panic, there's a shift in your environment, and you slowly feel the dimensions beginning to return to a normal state. You feel yourself grow, you watch your brother shrink. Your bed reaffirms itself into its normal twin bed shape. And your poster and painting are warped back into their true forms of the Eagle and President Harding.
God bless. God bless.
As soon as the dimensions return to normal, Bruiser stirs in his race car bed. Tough, what happened? I feel. Do you wear your jacket with the collar when you sleep? Yes.
It's
Up
leather.
your
It's
collar.
very sweaty. It's very
Cannon.
sweaty.
Uh,
But you never
As a-
know. You never know when a street tough's gonna sneak in with a stiletto. You need to look good.
Tough. What happened?
Nothing, kid. It's nothing. It's just a dream.
Do I gotta get up for school yet, or can I go back to bed?
Go back to bed, kid. I'll get you all fit up with breakfast. Mama's got a nice plate out of gabagool, and I'm gonna
Okay.
get you some brijout, and I'm gonna get you some linguine. I'm gonna get you macaron, and I'm gonna get you some manicat, and I'm gonna get you some parmesan
Okay, tough. I love you.
and Fruit Loops.
Oh, hell yeah, Fruit Loops. And he rolls back over in his bed. Tough. What do you do in this moment? Are you lingering in this room, or are you trying to get the hell out of here?
First of all, family comes first. I gotta protect my brother,
hmm
and I just want to make sure things stay normal. So I'm just gonna catch my breath here for a little bit.
Okay, you go ahead and you rest and you relax. Okay. Go ahead and give me a, let's say, what is your highest stat? Let me ask you.
Charm.
Charm, really.
Although Devin's earning the board.
Go ahead
Kind
and
of the
give me a
charm board here.
go ahead and give me a charm roll, please. You can choose to take half on this one. In case you want to just take a flat 10 here. Or you can roll and potentially get higher or lower.
I don't know what you mean. I'm just gonna roll. I'm gonna roll it.
Okay, feel free.
I'm gonna roll it.
Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, so you catch your breath, you chill out a little bit. You have this very strange sensation that you feel the space around you. Like every part of this room is at least a little bit known to you, despite the fact that you're not touching or looking at parts of it at times. As you go to run downstairs, you could swear the handle of the door turns before you grab it. Tabitha, when you wake up in your bedroom, please tell me how it has been changed as though a tornado has ripped through your room.
Yeah, so the canopy bed is just, it looks like it's gone just straight through a wood chipper.
Mm-hmm.
There's just like strings of canopy all through the room, and there's just like a giant like a car through the window.
Okay.
That actually kind of looks like the race car. I don't know this, but looks like the race car bed in Tough Boyman's room. But it's almost like a cartoonish looking car. Like it doesn't look
Mhm.
like a real car that would drive, but it's just straight through my window.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a giant gaping hole in the floor
Okay.
of my bedroom that if I could see it, I could tumble right into it out of
Mhm.
my.
So, as you awaken and you sit on your little oasis, the bed around you has not been touched. And despite the fact that most of the wallpaper has been stripped off the walls, none of your art pieces have been moved.
Oh, yay.
You take a minute to breathe, and the breath moving in and out of your body, you feel those particles connect and touch all of the air around you. You feel the air that moves in and out through the gap in the wall where this car, which you now recognize as the toy Corvette that your parents bought you when you were 5 years old, that actually drives at like 40 miles an hour and takes real gas, is the one that is now currently smashed through your window. There is a rapid knocking at your door. You hear an older woman's voice at the other end of the door. Tabitha dear, are you all right? And you recognize the voice of one of the maids that works in this castle. Her name is Miss Winkle.
Just a sec.
Madam Tabitha, please, are you all right? I heard
I'm-
such terrible noise.
Oh, it's just I decided to take up volleyball again. I'm practicing volleyball, Miss Winkle.
Indoors? Oh, Tabitha, we have a volleyball court installed in the backyard, alongside the tennis court and the swimming pool and the lacrosse court.
Yeah, I just don't want my mom and dad to know. So I just thought I could practice in here. Oh fuck. I just tripped.
Are you? I'm coming in, Miss Tabitha.
No.
Go ahead and make a charm roll, please.
Okay.
I'll say 5's good enough in this moment.
Cool.
Due to the fact that your parents are paying me, I will listen to your wishes. But please do be careful.
I will, Miss Winkle.
Also, the breakfast banquet is already set out. Let us know if you need a chauffeur to take you down the driveway to your car.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
All right, dearie. Good morning, by the way.
Thanks, Miss Winkle.
Okay, and we're going to cut away from Tabitha's destroyed room with the sound of the breeze moving in and out in strange non-Euclidean ways to Tuggy's room. Tuggy, please describe to me how your room has been completely overtaken by plant life.
Well, I wake up and I look out at the fields of the corn and soybeans and their stalks so slender and slight, bowing and waxing and waning with the rhythm of the morning sun. The breeze is rippling through them, and I realize that they have grown all around me.
Yeah, what you thought was looking out at that wonderful field around your home is actually just your entire bedroom.
Oh my, I say out loud to myself. Never thought I would become a farmer of my own bedroom. My rug has grown a pile too high for me to step. Slipper or no, I'm afraid now I must become like my ancestors and plow where I sleep.
You hear somewhere in a large patch of sticky cotton the just pathetic barking of Tad trying to get your attention. Just boom, boom, boom.
Tad, you know the doctor said you're not supposed to bark. It's bad for your uterus. Girl, what are you doing? I'm coming. I fight through the corn husks, and I say to myself, this is stronger than you'd find even in the 4th of July.
Strangely, as you step off of your bed, the corn stalks part like the Red Sea for you.
Huh,
No,
I've never known myself to command the stalks, but I have become like a breeze myself, passing through their stems and sterns.
no blade of grass impedes your progress, and in fact, little flowers bloom everywhere you step on your hardwood floor, anomalously, and die as you lift your foot.
I don't believe I've done this before.
The parting the cotton, you see a lovely little flower wreath has grown around the top of Tad's head, and her bed is currently surrounded by sort of a fluffy arrangement of lovely little ferns.
Tad, that's not the flower crown you went to bed with. It's a different one entire. I
Indeed,
don't know what has become of you.
It is not the daisy chain that you made her before bed last night.
Doctor says it's good for a dog's uterus. But I digress.
Downstairs, you actually hear your father, Papa Repcorn. Tuggy! Tuggy boy, is that you? Moving around up there? I can't seem to find my glasses. Also, the kitchen is full of bean weeds. Did you harvest the beans early?
I bow my head low in a coward's shame, and I announce to my father loud enough that he might hear. Father, I have made a transgression, and by dabbling in the supernatural. I'm afraid I have afflicted our house with a pox, but it's not altogether bad. The dog is wreathed like she belongs here.
Tuggy, that I appreciate your candor, boy, but help a blind man out. I am upside down in the beanweed, son.
Oh, yes, I apologize. I forgot how the experimental LASIK surgery did rob you of your vision temporarily. Father, I am coming, and I am coming with my head bowed lower in shame, though it's also so I can make my way through the bean weeds.
Yeah, all right, you go downstairs to help your dad with the beanweeds. And finally, that brings us to Devin. Devin, you wake up this morning.
Yeah.
Your room is unchanged. Nothing has been moved. The lights are still on. What is Devin's morning routine like? Is he a, piss first thing in the morning kind of guy? Is he a breakfast before brushing his teeth kind of guy?
Well, he always uncurls himself because he sleeps like a dog because he has a circular dog bed. And there's only one way to sleep in a dog bed, and that's exactly like a dog sleeps in it.
Exactly.
So that takes about 10 minutes of stretching to kind of get himself out of a question marks pose. And then he goes and takes freezing cold shower with his boxer briefs still on.
When you head into the bathroom, can you please describe Devin's reaction as he looks in the mirror and sees nothing staring back at him?
It doesn't phase him because it happens every single morning.
Oh, Devin, I'm going to say that you are made cognitively aware of the fact that right now you are not conceptually invisible, but you are physically invisible. Your boxer briefs are just sort of hanging in midair, sopping wet from the shower, but there is nothing else to be seen there. Is he still completely stone faced by this moment?
No. Upon realizing this, it's a different kind of invisibility than he's used to, but it's a better kind, and he becomes completely relieved and says finally, and then goes and rests on the couch, a couch he's been waiting to rest on and hasn't touched for years, and finally closes his eyes and goes back to sleep.
Absolutely. You take solace in the obfuscation of your being, and you take a moment to just chill out. I think that's going to draw us to a close for today's episode. I will let you know, each of you has awakened latent psychic powers. We'll discuss the mechanics for that in the next episode. And if anyone's wondering how we did the distribution on those, I went ahead and asked everybody ahead of time what superpowers they thought every other member of the party, not themselves, would think was cool, and sort of aggregated the results from there. I got a lot of transformation ones for Pastor Andrew. I saw one really cool one that was controlling the wind for Sister Callista. I will admit, I went and improvised Tuggy's one, just because I think it fits the character.
It's fine by me.
Wonderful. And Devin, literally everyone said invisibility.
Just makes sense that you would.
Literally everyone.
No
I mean,
way.
Reid technically said becoming so small other people can't see him, but basically everyone was like, "Oh yeah, Devin's invisible."
Oh my god.
But yeah,
Great.
basically each of your characters will be able to do some basic psychic stuff, lift something with their mind, send a little message, and with some level of proficiency. But whenever you're doing your special thing, controlling the wind, transforming the size of objects or oneself, making plants, being unseen, you'll get an additional bonus. And we'll figure out why these anomalous powers have manifested on the next episode.
Cool. Before we go, we have to thank some people. Thank you all so much to everyone that came out and stuck around and watched this.
Oh, yes, of course. We put on this show for all of you, and we are so happy to have had you here.
We got some subs we should thank.
Oh, please.
Tripto 3, Ghastly Grapher, Cheers, Pricks, Smashing Blumpkins, ooh, dirty.
I like it. I like it.
That's really
And Prowler Pangolo. The
We should
story
also-
must be rolled upon you.
The
Oh, of
story
course.
must be
The
rolled
story
for
must
them.
be rolled. We should also
And then-
thank those who gave out gift subs today, which I believe would be Raven Hollow and Cuddleflesh, which I particularly love that name. The story must be rolled.
The story must be rolled.
Amazing. Do we have any other announcements? Anything anyone wants to say? Did we all have fun today?
Yeah, thanks everyone for coming out. I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Same. We have a book. You can buy it. You should
Yes,
probably
the book.
buy it. It's on thestorymustbetold.com. It's called Seasons of the Story. We have 15 of our original short stories plus one you've never heard before, and you won't hear it anywhere. Seasons of the Story. It's on Amazon. Find a link on thestorymustbetold.com.
As someone who has physically consumed this book, that last story is a doozy.
It's a fun one.
Thank you, Cantor Michael. This was
Thank you,
awesome.
Cantor Michael.
Putting this together.
Thank you so much for letting me be here. This is an absolute dream, and I had a great time.